Hello, welcome to the Sage X3 support session on tracking deleted payments. So why should deleted payments be tracked? Well, we want to account for gaps in sequence numbers created by the deletion of a payment. Our auditors may request this tracking for internal control purposes, and certain countries, such as Portugal, have a mandatory requirement to track deleted payments. Let's talk a little bit about deleting payments. Now, payments to settle invoices from sales, purchasing, or APAR accounting modules are entered under Payment Receipts entry, which is also called GES-PAY. Each payment that is created is assigned a sequential transaction code. Unposted payments can be deleted no matter what the legislation. And when you delete them, all records associated with the payment entry are cleared. So there are some potential problems with the deleted payments. There's going to be a gap in the sequence number. If it's accidentally deleted, payments will not be recorded in the general ledger. If a payment is fraudulently processed and deleted, there will be no records in the general ledger. And there's not going to be an entry in the check register either. So is there a way to track deleted payments? Yes. Beginning with version 2021 R4, there's a tracking deleted payment parameter, PAYDELTRC. Now, this parameter can be found under Setup General Parameters, Parameter Values, that's ADPVAL, under Chapter TRS, Group Pay. Now, we use this parameter to determine whether data for deleted payments, such as the date and the user, is saved in dedicated tables. When the value is set to yes, data is saved in the payment PORH and payment PORD tables. Now, the default is set to no unless the legislation requires this information to be saved. So if it's not mandatory in the legislation you're using, you're going to have to go in there and change the value on the parameter to yes. Okay, so we're off to look at the parameter. Now the first place we're going to go is to set up general parameters, parameter value. We're going to go down to TRS, which is accounts payable, accounts receivable. Now I can do this for all the legislations, just one legislation, or the folder. So I'm going to do the whole folder. As you can see, I'm in the TRS chapter. I'm going to go down here to pay and detail. And then it's just here for PAYDELTRC. Now we want this to be yes. Now let's type in yes. Tab out. Click OK. That closes that screen. But don't forget you have to save it before you leave. So the tracking delete payments is now active. Okay, now we're going to go delete a payment and see what happens. Now, once you've changed the parameter, you want to log out and log back in, which I've done, which updates everything for the change in the parameter value. So now that I'm logged back in, I'm going to go to Payment Receipt Entry. I'm going to go down here to Manual Check. And as you can see, I've got a testing deleted payment set up for $5,000. And notice it hasn't been posted. Now we can't delete it if it's already been posted. Now the garbage can or the delete icon is there, and I'm going to click delete. And notice I've got my transaction code, I have my supplier, and my pay object. So I'm going to just make a note of this because we're going to use this later. And then I'm going to click OK. Oh, now this is different. Make this a little bigger for you. When we used to do deletes, we didn't get a log like this. But now that we have the payment deletion parameter turned on, we get a little log when we delete it. Now, this tells us transaction number, the date, the business partner, the site, and that's how you can tell that it's working. You'll get that little log. So now that we're done, we'll go out of here. Now, let's update the left list, and you'll notice the payment is no longer there. So let's take a look at the data on the deleted payment in the payment PORH table. Now we're looking at the record in GMaint, and you'll see that in addition to regular payment data, we have the deleted by user, which in this case was I was signed in as admin, and the deleted on date, which is 9/30/2022. So now that you're tracking the deletions, how do you monitor them? You've got the data in the payment PORH and payment PORD tables. So let's look at some options. You can set up a workflow to notify you when there are new entries to the tables. You can create a query tool report that you can run periodically to see if there's any new activity. Or you can create a recurring Sage Enterprise Intelligence report that runs weekly, monthly, whatever you think is appropriate, to let you know that there's been updates. Thank you for joining me today in the Sage X3 support session on tracking deleted payments. Hope to see you back soon. Take care.